dig this. Pump up the volume, 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 pump up the volume.
Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. So I don't know if you can tell, but I am missing a couple things from my makeup application. What could they be? Well, if you read the title, then you already know that it's eyeliner and lipstick, and I also haven't applied my mascara. So I want to observe and look at my eyes, and I have all the eyeshadow down, but the eyeshadow can only get you so far. So the eyeshadow is creating light to the eyes, making it brighter, and we're creating depth on the outer corner, which creates width between the eyes, but without the eyeliner we're not really getting any definition, so it's actually making us look a little more tired than if we were to add something that's a little bit darker to define and contrast against the colors in our eye color and define our eye shape. So the whole point of eyeliner is to do that. We wear eyeliner to define our eyes, to contrast against our eye color, to draw attention to the eyes, because when you're engaging with another human being, you want them to be drawn into your eyes, especially if they're a hot man with tattoos and muscles and hairy chest. Just saying. I'm going to be showing you different forms of eyeliner and a way for everyone to apply eyeliner the same way that looks awesome on everybody. And then I'm also going to show you how I'm going to apply my eyeliner today, which is a wing, because everybody wants to learn how to do the infamous wing. To start, there are many different types of eyeliners. The most easiest type of eyeliner to begin with is your pencil. I prefer waterproof pencils. They last longer. They do have a dry time, so if you're trying to create some kind of smoky look or smudged out look, then waterproof's something you want to be timely about. When you smudge it, you probably have at least 30 seconds. But there are other eyeliners that are not waterproof, and those are known as kohl liners, which are just usually a little more pigmented, a little more creamier, and of course don't have a dry time. So they are excellent for creating smoky eyes, or for a more drier eyelid, or for a more defined line, and you can always set the line with a similar color eyeshadow. There's gel liners, which come in pots like this. This one's one of my favorites. This is the Bobbi Brown gel liner long wear eyeliner, and they usually have a thicker texture to them, but they're still pretty smooth and pigmented, and one swipe you can see that it's pretty deep and saturated. So this one in particular is water resistant. It is a long wear, and it has a semi-matte finish, which just means that it doesn't reflect light. So if you want to see what this one in particular looks like, I did do a tutorial with it, the Dark Princess tutorial. I did use my Bobbi Brown gel liner if you want to see what that looks like. I did a nice big giant wing, and it looks awesome. Next one there is liquid, infamous liquid. So liquid is definitely going to require a little more practice to apply. This one in particular is the Art Liner by Lancome, the 24-hour wear art liner. Super black. You get a very defined line, so there's no smudging this guy out. If you're looking for a smoky eye, this isn't what you want to go to. This is for more like your pinup type of look, your cat eye, really defined, very sharp, very dark. And this one in particular leaves a shiny lacquer finish, so it makes the eyes look bigger, which is beautiful. And I actually really like this liquid liner. It's very nice. If that's what you want to do, then you want to do a liquid. There's also cream liners, which is what I'm going to use today. This one's an indigo. It's by Laura Mercier, and it's very creamy and almost wet. It has a shiny finish. You can see the light reflecting off of it. Ooh, that color is so pretty. I can't wait. But this one's waterproof. It's creamy in texture. Use a brush to apply it. It's very similar to a gel liner. It just has a different finish. And it's also a little more smoother to put on, to glide on, if you will. That's a cream liner. And then there's cake liners, which usually require some kind of activator, either water, or I like to use my Makeup Forever Aqua Seal. I've used this in many tutorials. It is one of my favorites. Using the Aqua Seal makes it waterproof, and I use a flat stiff dome brush like so, and you just dip it in, and I use this to tight line mostly, but you can use it for other ways to line your eyes, and it would give you the effect of a liquid liner. So you'd get a very defined line. There's not really any smudging this guy out. And then of course you can always use eyeshadow, you guys. I love to use eyeshadow on the bottom of my lash line. It just helps to make it look more cohesive, a little more finished without a very harsh line or having to worry about the line being perfect. As far as application goes, honestly, there's just so many ways to apply your eyeliner, and it just differentiates with eye shape, and it differentiates with the look you're going for. So if you want to do a nice soft look, then you're probably going to want to either use an eyeshadow or a pencil, because it's going to be a little bit of a softer line. It's going to be easier to control, and it's going to be easier to smudge out, and it's going to be easier to apply in general. Those are the different forms of eyeliner, and it doesn't matter which one you use. It's all about preference. Like I said, it's all about the look you're going for. If you want something more dramatic, something more eye-popping, then you're gonna want to use the liquid. You know, that's gonna give you that really sharp, defined line that's gonna say, wow. You know, it's gonna be a little sexy. Today, I wanna show you a trick, and I do it in all my tutorials, all of them. I will not leave the house without doing this. It's called tightlining, and tightlining is so important because it's gonna bridge the gaps, the spaces between your lashes. So whenever you do put eyeliner on the top lash line, you're not gonna have any spaces underneath, so it's gonna give even more definition, and it's also gonna make the eyelashes look thick, which is also, what's wrong with that? What you do is you can use a pencil, you can use the cake liner I showed you, which I typically do that, but when I don't feel like doing much, I use a pencil because it's easier. So I'm gonna show you the easy way. So before we tightline, I just want to share a couple of no-nos that will never be okay for eyeliner. Usually there's no rules to makeup, but technically these rules are a no-no. The rule of thumb is if you line the bottom, you must line the top, because if you just put liner on the bottom lash line, you're gonna drag your eye down. It's gonna create a shadow here that makes it look heavy, and it's gonna make it look like you're drowsy or sleepy. It's gonna age you. So if you insist on putting liner here, which is fine, then you need to put a little on top, or you can tightline what I'm about to show you. Always, if you line the bottom, you gotta line the top. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't wanna hear it. I don't wanna hear it, girlfriend. If you do line both the top and bottom, you want to make sure that what is on the bottom is lighter than what's on the top. You don't want still to have the bottom be darker, because then the same idea applies. You're going to be dragging the eye down, you're going to be aging yourself. So what you want to do is you want to open your eye really big and silly, and you want to look kind of like a fool. Sorry. Oh, sorry, I should probably tell you what I'm using. I'm using a Makeup Forever Aqua Eyes in black in 0L. It's a waterproof eyeliner. And I'm going to open my eyes really big and silly, and I'm going to push the liner underneath the lashes, and we're going to wiggle it in between each lash. We're painting the base of the lash. And to make sure you don't poke your eye, just twist your head as you go across so you don't poke your pupil. Because if you're in the white zone, you're good. If you're in the brown zone, you're gonna hurt yourself. You could be in the blue zone, the green zone, you could be in the honey zone. And you can make it as dark as you want. I mean, you can't go too dark. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect at all. because no one will know that it's there. And you want to just follow your lashes all the way across. So wherever there's lash, you want to put liner. See the difference? It makes such a huge difference. It's so subtle, but it's definitely defining my eye. It's contrasting against the eye colors I've put on the lid, and it's making my eye look more poppy. It's making it pop more, and that's really all you have to do. I want you to, I'm gonna look so stupid right now, but you can see the difference. See, this one has none, and this one has some. Oh my gosh, I love it. Do you love it? See, so easy and easy. So that's tight lining, and you can see from far away that now I have so much definition, and it took 2 seconds. Girl, you better get your tight lining on. And you can do it with brown, you can do it with blue, you can do it with purple, you can do it with green, you can do it with gray, you can do it with literally any color you want to. Any color. Telling you, if you don't tight line, you're missing out, and I cannot help you if you do not help yourself. So again, I'm using the Laura Mercier cream eyeliner in indigo, and it looks like this. So beautiful. And love. I'm gonna use an angled eyeliner brush from Sephora, number 23. I'm gonna just scoop some out on the back of my hand so I don't have to scoop inside. And I'm gonna take a little bit on my brush. And just remember, a little goes a long way. You can always add more. It's harder to take away than to add. So you ready? Here we go. So what you want to do when you want to do a winged eyeliner, the misconception is that you have to follow your top lash line. But the problem in doing that is that your line ends up going down and you end up dragging the eye down. So we don't want that. So what we want to do is we want to follow the lower lash line. So I want you ladies to imagine a line going from your lower lash line all the way up to the end of your eyebrow. Okay, just an imaginary line. And that's the course we want to take when we make our wing. We want it to go up towards the end of our eyebrow, not past it. We want it to go up towards wherever your eyebrow ends. That's where you want your wing to go up towards. And to get the lift of the wing, we want to follow our lower lash line. So I always like to, when I first start teaching somebody, I always tell them to do the wing first. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to imagine the line going up towards the end of my eyebrow, which is like weird and sticking out for some reason. Wing first. Boom. Now I have a guide for where the rest is gonna go, because we can always make it longer if we want to in the end, but start small. Don't be so ambitious. You gotta take baby steps, you guys. Little babies. We're little wing babies. Take a little more. And what I mean by guide is that now that we have our wing, we can fill the rest in. So what I like to do is start really close to the lash line and just fill this all in, because we already know that it's going to go across anyway. So just go all the way across your lash line. Just a little at a time, just like that. And then it's always a good idea to, instead of keep going when you're not sure where you want to go with how it looks or what kind of wing you want to go for or how thick you want it, it's always a good idea to just stop, say, okay, patience, I'm gonna stop, I'm gonna take a step back, and I'm gonna get perspective, because if you're up close for too long, it's gonna all look the same, and then by the time you do take a step back, you're gonna be like, yeesh, what the hell did I just do to myself? Take a step back, get perspective, look at how thick you want it. Do you want it to go higher? Do you want it to be thicker at the corner? Do you want it to go all the way in? So I feel like mine could be a little thicker and a little longer. So what I'm gonna do is take a little bit more, and I'm going to continue to bring it across and taper it off as we go closer to the eye, or closer to the center. And then I'm gonna take a little bit more, and I'm going to work on the outer wing. And since I want it bigger, we know that we have to make it longer now. But I already have my flick, so I know that all I have to do is just elongate it. And now, to make it thicker, I just fill it in. Just like that. Look at that, you guys! I like it. Mama like it. So now that we have pretty much the shape we want, all we have to do is just fix any empty spaces, because you can always do that last. You don't have to do it as you go. We can sharpen that point and just smooth out the lines. And you get a better line when you do more. Instead of short, skippy lines, you'll always get a better line if you do long strokes. If you do you're always gonna have skips or like weird bumps and mountains and crevices in your lines, and then pretty soon your line's gonna be like all the way up to your brow. So remember, long strokes. Long strokes will get you more smoother strokes. All right, so there you go. Now, you're probably like, what about the other side, Patience? And I'm like, no problem. You're not gonna get it completely perfect. There's no way to make it mirror image, a perfect mirror image of what you did on one side to the other side, but we can get really close. So for all you OCD perfectionists, just like my roommate, my soul sister, just know that it is impossible, and even if I do it for you, that somehow gives you solace. I don't know how. I'm not creating a perfect mirror image, and nobody will. Start small, because we can always add, okay? So let's take it from the top. So what are we gonna do, ladies? We're going to create our imaginary line starting from our lower lash line, not our top, going up to the end of our brow, okay? So let's create our flick by doing that. So create our flick. Start small, you guys, because we can always add more if it's not long enough, okay? And now we're going to fill in the lash line. So fill in the lash line, connect it to the flick. Take a step back, get perspective. Look at what we're doing so far. I'd say it looks pretty close. It's getting there. And now let's continue, now that we know that we're on the right track. Let's take a look at the beginning of our arch. We know that we need to start tapering it off even smaller than it is now. So just push it into those lashes. Don't be afraid to paint your lashes. It's fine. You're gonna put mascara on anyway. All right, let's get perspective. Wow, I say it's coming along. It's coming along nicely. Let's fill it in. Let's fill that baby in. I think we're on the right track. So remember, long strokes will get you smoother lines. All right, you guys, so as you can see, they look pretty fine to me. And as you can see, the lower lash line is lighter than the top. So I do have eyeshadow down there to define my eye shape and to just kind of bring depth to the outer corner. I have a little brown down there, but it is not darker than what's on top. Now that we have the eyeliner on the lid, I want you to take a look in between the lashes, and if you've missed any spaces, you can see like right in this eye, I've missed a space with the tight lining. So I want to just fill those spaces in so that way they're not visible, because it's gonna look funny, it's gonna look unfinished. So just take the eyeliner you used and press it up against those spaces that you missed. And that's it. That's how you wing your liner. I hope that helped. I'm going to put my mascara on and then I'll be right back to show you how to do lips.